Hi everybody. Welcome to my after show for episode 6 of Whale Store XOXO. As you can tell, I have been crying. So if you watched my reaction video, which is up, you can go and watch it. I cried quite, not like for the whole thing, but there were some parts that really got me. So hopefully I'll get through this video held together. But wow, this show, episode 6, Whale Store XOXO, the show is so good. Like, every week, I don't know why every week I'm just shocked at just how wonderful of a story we are getting. Like, it's so genuine and thought out. It's funny because it's not like a fast-paced show. Like, I feel like it really is this slice of life. Like, it's just showing these people in this time. But the things that they're dealing with and they're going through is just so real that it leaves me feeling like this more often than not. So in this episode, we kind of start where we left off, which I love when they do that. We have Juan and Nam finally in a relationship, and they have the absolute cutest sleepover. That entire sequence is probably one of my favorite sequences I've seen in a show. It was just so sweet and sincere and cute and adorable and everything. But it wasn't just like for the cuteness. We got some serious lore drop. Like, we learned more about Mao Nam and her family. We learned that, yes, that is her stepfather, that her parents didn't get back together after they split up, that it's her father her stepfather, whose mouse mark came to them. Like, we learned how her mother was very much like, there's no place for weakness. Like, we learned a lot about Mao Nam's family and maybe explaining a little bit about her and why she is doing the things she does. And then we also had some more information from Juan about her and her dad and their relationship. And we found out her mom died when she was 3, and it's always been her and her dad. Oh my God, sorry. I don't know what it is about her and her dad that just like literally wrecks me, but it really does. Like, we've had parents die before. Like, this is not a first. This is not a first. And it's weird because, like, he wasn't like he was a huge character, like, in the beginning. Like, we've had in other shows where, like, people who've passed have been more of a character. Like, but there's just something about their relationship and how this show is giving us that sequence of grief that's really, it's wrecking me. So I'm apologizing. I'm sorry. Even when I was reacting, like, I was holding myself together and I was still a hot crying mess. And we had the absolute cutest falling asleep with them cuddled in bed with the cat. And I adored every moment of it. I adored every moment of that scene. We also found out that Mr. Lee, which I'm so glad we're getting some more Mr. Lee and Juan content. We got to see a flashback of her dad and Mr. Lee being all besties and buddies, and they were so cute. And then we found out that it was Mr. Lee who actually called the police to report what had happened with Juan being assaulted. And I love that. Like, I love that he's like, no. Like, I love that because we've talked about this like on my socials and stuff, and probably here before too, how this show is like dropping all of these things, these real things like harassment, assault. Like, he was saying, like, we have to wait for them to be a victim before they can be protected. And that's just, it's so backwards. And I love how he was like, no, you need to have this, like, you need to tell them because I don't want this turned around on you. And I really am wondering if that's like a foreshadow that he, if he's like, if something escalates, they need to know you did not start this. You are not at fault. And I just loved that he did that. I feel like it was like a moment that really brought them back together and kind of healed that relationship because he was stepping into that role again of uncle and of father figure for her. So I love that little bit too. There was so much in the episode I really, really loved. I loved seeing Juan and Mr. Lee go and make merit for her dad, and then them oh my god, them sitting on the curb drinking the drink that he loved, and then Juan talking just about like the grief and the regret and the pain that she's still feeling because she wasn't around enough. And I just love how he poured into her and just like was there for her. That was beautiful. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's making me cry. But it was just, I feel like this whole episode was just full of these beautiful moments, you know? But the one that really, really got me the most was the dream that she had when she walked in. And at first I was scared. I was like, oh my God, something bad's gonna happen. Like, someone's back there. But then seeing that it was her dad and her having that conversation with him was just, sorry. It was really beautiful. And I feel like that was the closure. Oh my God. I feel like that was the closure that she needed. Not so much like closure, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like the closure on that regret and that pain that she was holding on to about not being there enough. I feel like that was what she needed. She needed to have that moment with her dad to express how sorry she was for not being there and for him to be like, no, like, I love you and I just have always wanted the best for you. That's why I always ask. It's because we don't want you to be unhappy. We just want to make sure you're okay. And that he understood. And I think that was a really, really good moment. Sorry. Oh God. It was such a beautiful part of their story that I think is giving her the ability to move forward and move on. Like we've seen, like she's like, this is it. I'm fighting. I'm not alone anymore. I'm not alone. Because I think she felt really alone until her and Mo Nam have been, together. But I loved that moment, and I love that the show it's showing us that grief, it's not like, you have grief and then you grieve and it's over and you just move on. Like, grieving is something that takes so long, and grief stays with you forever. Like, there's all these little things, like, drinking a drink that reminds you of somebody, hearing a song, So I think this show is doing a really beautiful job at making me cry. It's doing a really beautiful job. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have any theories. I haven't even talked about the other girls. I don't even know what's going on with them, like them moving back into the house. I don't even know. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm gonna wrap it up now because I've just been crying and crying and I don't want to keep crying. But I'm really liking the show. I would love to know how you're feeling about these bigger topics that are being laced in these episodes. Like, they're really tackling some things, but in a way that feels like it's so part of the story and so real and genuine. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Whale Store. Thank you so much for watching with me and talking with me and being here with me. I love you guys all very much, and I'll see you at the next episode.